So I guess I should start with the moment my life took this crazy turn. Picture this. Brooklyn apartment, December 31st, champagne flowing, friends everywhere, and the TV blasting the Times Square pre-show. Pretty standard New Year's Eve, right? Wrong. Let me back up a bit. Nathan and I had been together for like a year and a half. He was this marketing guy with the perfect Instagram life. You know the type. Always posting those rise and grind quotes while secretly hitting snooze 5 times every morning. But I fell for him hard. We met at a friend's rooftop party in summer 2023. And honestly, it felt like the real deal. Fast forward to last New Year's Eve. I'd spent weeks planning this party at our Brooklyn apartment. And by our, I mean my apartment. That he basically moved into after 6 months because his place had ventilation issues, smiley face. I decorated everything in gold and silver, ordered fancy appetizers from this insane little place on Bedford Ave that cost way too much, and even splurged on actual champagne instead of the Trader Joe's stuff. The party was in full swing by 10 p.m. My best friend Zoe was there with her new boyfriend, my coworkers from the photography studio, some of Nathan's work friends, and this random couple from our building who brought really good cookies, so I wasn't mad about it. Everything was perfect until I overheard Nathan talking to his buddy Tyler in the kitchen. I wasn't eavesdropping exactly, I was grabbing more ice, but then I heard Times Square tickets and Amber in the same sentence. For context, Amber was this event planner that Nathan had been working with on some marketing campaign. He'd mentioned her a few times, always super casual like, Amber thinks we should change the logo or whatever. Nothing suspicious. But then I hear Tyler say, dude, was sleeping with her really worth it just for those tickets? And my whole body went cold. I froze next to the refrigerator, ice tray in hand, listening to my boyfriend laugh and say, hell yeah, front row at Times Square on New Year's? Do you know how impossible those are to get? Plus, she wasn't bad. Y'all. The ice tray literally cracked in my hands. I walked into that kitchen looking like a straight-up horror movie villain. Nathan's face when he saw me, I wish I'd had my camera ready because that was a Kodak moment right there. Care to repeat that for everyone? I said, loud enough that the music suddenly felt too quiet. Nathan tried to play it cool. Babe, it's not what you think. Not what I think. You just told Tyler you slept with Amber for Times Square tickets. Times Square tickets. I was shaking. You cheated on me for a tourist trap that smells like hot dog water? The party went dead silent. Even the TV seemed quieter. Everyone was watching us like we were the real New Year's entertainment. Nathan started damage control, talking about how it was just one time, and how the tickets were for both of us, as if that made it better, and how I was overreacting. The countdown to midnight started on TV. 10, 9, 8. I looked at this man I thought I loved and said, get out. Come on, it's almost midnight, he said, trying to reach for my hand. 7, 6, 5, get out. I was not playing. And take nothing with you. 4, 3. He actually had the audacity to look annoyed like I was ruining his night. 2, 1. As everyone on TV screamed, Happy New Year, I was shoving Nathan toward the door. My friends were stunned, but Zoe, the real MVP, opened the door. For me. I pushed him into the hallway and slammed the door just as the fireworks started on TV. Then I turned to our guests and said, well, that's one way to start fresh in the new year. Who needs more champagne? The next hour was a blur of sympathetic faces and refilled glasses. After most people left, Zoe and her boyfriend helped me gather all of Nathan's stuff, clothes, shoes, his precious vinyl collection, protein powder, everything, and we threw it all onto the street, like literally on the curb. I even took his stupid signed Rangers jersey that he was so proud of and hung it on a fire hydrant. He kept calling and texting, but I blocked him everywhere. New year, new phone who dis? Am I right? Updated. So it's been about 2 weeks since the New Year's Eve disaster, and oh boy, do I have updates. First off, thanks for all the comments and support on my original post. Reading your stories about similar trash men really helped me feel less alone during what has honestly been the most insane start to a year ever. The morning after I kicked Nathan out, I woke up to like 47 missed calls from unknown numbers. He was clearly using friends' phones, and a bunch of texts that ranged from, baby please, I'm sorry, to, you're being completely unreasonable, to, I'm sleeping in my car, please just let me get my stuff. The audacity, right? I didn't respond to any of them. Instead, I spent New Year's Day doing a complete cleanse, sage burning, deep cleaning the apartment, deleting all our photos together, the works. Zoe came over with breakfast burritos from that place on North 7th that puts tater tots inside them, game changer, and we spent the day planning my Nathan-free future. Now here's where it gets interesting. Remember I told you I'm a photographer? Well, I mainly do portraits and some commercial work, but I also had my camera at the party. After everyone left, I realized I had taken some pretty raw, emotional shots throughout the night, including the exact moment I found out about Nathan's betrayal. My face in that photo, it was like watching someone's heartbreak in real time. On a whim, I put together a photo series called Countdown to Goodbye, with shots from the party, the happy moments early on, then the confrontation, then the aftermath. With my friends rallying around me, I posted it on my Instagram and tagged a few photography accounts I follow, y'all. It blew up. Like within 48 hours, I had gained over 15,000 followers. My DMs were flooded with messages from people sharing their own cheating stories, photography opportunities, and even a few magazine editors wanting to talk. One of those editors was from Vogue, freaking Vogue. She loved the raw emotion in the series and asked if I had more work like it. I stayed up all night putting together my portfolio and sent it over, barely breathing as I hit send. Meanwhile, the Nathan saga continued. About 4 days after New Year's, I was leaving my apartment to meet a potential client when I saw him, sitting on the stoop of my building. He looked rough, unshaven, same clothes as the party, the whole sad boy aesthetic. 2 minutes, he said when he saw me. Just give me 2 minutes. Against my better judgment, I said, 1 minute, timer starts now. He launched into this rehearsed speech about making the biggest mistake of his life, about how Amber meant nothing, about how the Times Square thing was just him trying to give us an unforgettable experience, and at which point I actually laughed out loud. Unforgettable experience? Check. Mission accomplished, I said, stepping around him. My timer went off. Time's up. Don't come back. Later that day, I found out through mutual friends that Nathan had lost his job. Apparently, Amber worked with one of his company's biggest clients, and when she heard he'd been caught and how he talked about her, she pulled the account. His boss fired him the same day. Also, the great Times Square tickets? They weren't even VIP. They were some standing room only deal that would have had us freezing for hours with no bathroom access. Not only was he a cheater, but he was a cheater with terrible taste in New Year's Eve plans. A week after the party, the Vogue editor emailed me back. They wanted to feature my Countdown to Goodbye series in their online edition, in an article about modern relationships and healing through art. I literally fell off my couch when I read the email. Me, in Vogue. Is this real life? The day the article went live, my phone exploded. Job offers, collaboration requests, interview invitations. It was overwhelming in the best possible way. I've never felt so validated as an artist. That same evening, guess who texted from yet another new number? Nathan, of course. But this time it wasn't apologies or explanations. It was a request for $400 for rent. Apparently, he'd been couch surfing since New Year's, and his last friend had kicked him out. The new girl he'd started seeing, yes, already, had also dumped him when she found out about the cheating story, which had somehow made its way around Brooklyn faster than news of a new craft brewery. I have nowhere to go, he wrote. I just need enough for a week's rent until my new job starts. I typed back. Sounds like you've got 99 problems, but my money ain't gonna be one. New phone, who dis? Then I blocked that number too. Yesterday, I had my first professional photo shoot for a major clothing brand. As I was setting up my equipment, I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. Thinking it might be work-related, I answered. It was Amber, the Amber. She'd seen the Vogue piece and recognized Nathan from the photos. We ended up talking for almost an hour. Turns out he'd told her we were broken up and she had no idea he was cheating. She actually apologized to me, which was completely unnecessary but really decent of her. We're getting coffee next week to discuss a potential collaboration. She organizes high-end events, and they always need photographers. Talk about a plot. Twist. As for Nathan, I heard from Tyler that he's staying at some hostel in Bushwick and still telling anyone who'll listen about how he almost got to experience New Year's at Times Square. Meanwhile, I'm booking jobs I couldn't have dreamed of a month ago, making more money than ever, and finally feeling like my career is taking off. Updated. It's been exactly 1 month since the infamous New Year's Eve, and things just keep getting better. The Vogue feature led to 3 more magazine spreads, and I've booked solid photography gigs through the summer. I had to hire an assistant just to keep up with the emails. Amber and I didn't just get coffee, we became actual friends and business partners. She's been connecting me with all her high-profile clients, and I'm now the official photographer for her events company. Last week, we shot a celebrity wedding that I can't name for legal reasons, but let's just say you definitely know who they are. Final update. Sometimes the worst moments lead to the biggest breakthroughs. Yesterday, I was shooting at, guess where, Times Square for a major fashion brand when someone tapped my shoulder. It was Nathan, looking rough and carrying a coffee shop application. He started with, "You look great," but I cut him off. "Thanks." "To you, actually," I said, gesturing to my professional setup and crew. That night was the best thing that ever happened to me. His face fell as my assistant called me back to work. As I walked away, I heard him mumble something about still hoping to see the ball drop someday. I smiled to myself. I'm already watching my own star rise, and it's brighter than anything Times Square could offer. New year, new me, new life, and it's only getting started.